you've had a hip replacement or a knee replacement that needs to be replaced again or revised. What do you need to do and what steps do you need to take to ensure that any evidence that could be used in a potential lawsuit be preserved? My name's Dan Burke and I'm a lawyer at Parker Wakeman in New York, and I deal with questions like this all the time. Typically, when a hip replacement or a knee replacement is scheduled, you know in advance who your physician is going to be and what hospital or facility the surgery is going to take place in. It's important in lawsuits like this that the knee joint itself or the hip joint itself and surrounding tissue be preserved. And by preserved, I mean it needs to be collected from the doctor and from the facility, bagged and preserved with the appropriate solution so that the tissue and bone and implant and the material surrounding the implant doesn't get damaged. How do you affect that as a consumer or as a patient who's going to see the doctor? Well, it's something you could do on your own and ask that the doctor preserve the device for you and ask that the facility preserve the device for you. But if you are going to pursue a lawsuit, it's better that you have your attorney take those steps for you. In certain litigations, such as the DePuy ASR hip implant litigation, which concerns a particular type of hip implant that was recalled in August of 2010, the court actually has a protocol for how these devices are to be preserved. And there are a number of steps that we request that physicians take and hospitals take to preserve the material properly in the event that this stuff needs to be used as evidence somewhere down the line of trial. What we will typically do is we'll send a letter by fax or send a letter by mail to both the facility, the surgeon who's going to be revising your implant, and ask that they preserve this material in a particular way. Then we typically have a third party, a company that we hire, who stores the material in a facility where it's protected, and they can also make sure that the chain of evidence and chain of custody of the evidence is protected so that the defendants can't challenge our use of the evidence somewhere at trial. Again, if you have an upcoming hip or knee replacement surgery or revision surgery, give me a call. I can answer any questions you may have concerning the preservation of the device and the preservation of evidence in the event that your case ever needs to go to trial. Again, my name's Dan Burke. I'm a lawyer at Parker Wakeman. Thanks again for taking the time to listen.